Hey, I'm Jessica Mernan, author, horticultural therapy practitioner, and founder of Basker, where I help people use gardening and nature for mental, emotional, physical, and social well-being. I love being outside, but I really love being inside, especially with this 100-degree weather in Charleston. So each week, I merge those two worlds together, and my guest and I talk about nature, that's the outside part, and then we share one of our current inside obsessions, books, TV, movie, internet gossip, trends that we love, that we hate. Before we get to today's guest and interview, every single episode I share a reason why I like to grow, because I'm not so subtly trying to get you to grow too. So in no particular order, reason number 7 of why I grow things: the bees, the butterflies, and the hummingbirds. And I have this connection to butterflies. My mom's cousin passed away when she was really young. His name was Gordon, and he was only 19. And at his burial, I wasn't alive for this, but at his burial, there was a butterfly that when he was buried, it kind of flew into the scene. And the lore is that butterfly was Gordon. And so that's something that it's always been something in my family. So when I moved onto a street named Gordon, I sort of felt like it was my duty to grow things that attracted butterflies. So one of my most favorite things to attract butterflies is this milkweed called hairy balls. And it looks identical to a man's hairy balls. I just actually gave away some free hairy ball seeds in my newsletter because they produce so many seeds. So I saved 2 packets for podcast listeners. So if you're listening to this, first 2 people that email me, I will send you some hairy ball seeds. Look it up. It's one of the coolest plants. But yeah, it's a huge monarch attractor. And I don't know if you've ever seen a hummingbird hover and fly around your plants. It's one of the most magical things you've ever seen. So I also grow things that attract hummingbirds and then also the bees. So reason number 7 of why I love to grow: butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds. All right, today's guest. We are talking to Michelle Davis. It's pretty likely that you have one of her cookbooks. Her first cookbook that came out in 2014 was an instant #1 New York Times bestseller, and she's written 5 best-selling cookbooks published in over 8 different languages. It's just bananas. She headed the award-winning brand Bad Manners for 12 years, but now Michelle is heading up her own weekly newsletter called Stir the Pot. It's full of recipes, a look at food culture, and ways that you can help your community. She has the best laugh. She is equally cynical and really hopeful, which is my favorite combination of things because I'm that way too. I just really love Michelle a lot. All right, so let's get to it. But first, a quick break from this week's sponsor, Week of the Website. Talk to you on the other side. When you run a business, you feel like you have to be good at everything and then also have all the time to do it. Like building a website, you could probably figure it out, but the time it's going to take to figure it out, you should probably just call an expert. And the expert at building websites is Week of the Website. And yes, their name is exactly what they'll give you: a website in a week. Their team is obsessed with the details and giving you a hands-on, compassionate experience that's free of frustration. And when I say they're the experts, they are. They're a female-founded team that's been doing this for over a decade. And Kelsey, the founder of Week of the Website, is the author of the #1 Squarespace book, Squarespace from Sign Up to Launch. If you're starting a business or need to refresh your existing site, their service, Week of the Website Launch, is a great place to start. They'll act as a true partner whose goal is to make you look good. They'll give you a custom Squarespace website in a week that includes a dedicated project manager and designer, 3 design review calls, SEO and mobile optimization, and a lifetime training portal access, and more. Head to weekofthewebsite.com/insideoutside to book a time and learn more. And for Inside Outside listeners, get 1 free month of their concierge support and hosting when you book a project with them. That's weekofthewebsite.com/insideoutside, and I'll make sure to include this link in the show notes. Michelle, I'm so excited to have you here. And I've already texted you this before, but your mac and cheese recipe is, I don't know if I'm sick of it yet, but like I have to make it every single week for my son.
That makes me so happy though.
Yeah. It's so easy to make. I actually know the recipe by heart now. And we just always have a jar of it in the fridge. And every time he eats it, it's the most sweet things. He always says, every time you say it's the best batch, and then it gets better. And I'm like,
Oh,
so anyway, I told him I was talking to you today. He was like, what? So
the
thank you
mac
for
and
that
cheese.
recipe.
I am, that's why I write recipes. That's why I do this. And so it's funny because I come up with all this stuff, like by myself in my little place, and then you put it online, and then it gets so intimate, right? Like you're feeding it to your family all the time, and it's just that magic has never gone away for me.
Oh, it's so good. And I will also tell you, I didn't tell you this, but and you've probably tried this before, but I take the sauce and when I make a tofu scramble, I'll drizzle
Ooh,
that on top of the tofu scramble and it is so good. And sprinkle a
decadent.
little dill with it. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about this mac and cheese recipe, but I just want to also say what I like about it so much is it can really lend itself to other types of cuisine. Like
Hmm.
maybe I've also used it on nachos. I've used
Hmm.
it mac and cheese, and you can add any herb you want to the. Anyway, thank you so much. It's in which book is it's in the last book that you wrote, right? Yes.
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 Mhm.
Okay.
And that's that, but you're using the recipes how I want people to use them, right? It's like it becomes your recipe and you mix and match and play with it. As like you can dress it up and make it super fancy, or you can make it basic as hell, and that's how it should be.
Yes. It's just the best. So anyway,
Oh.
thank you so much. I'll include the book that recipe is in the show notes. So, we're going to be talking about outside things and inside things. And to
Hmm.
kick it off, we're going to start with your outside thing. And I would love for you to share either your first nature memory or a time that nature impacted you in some way.
I was trying to think of, to the prompt. I was trying to think of, and like so many ideas came flooding to me of these memories that I have with nature. But I
Hmm.
think one that comes back to me a lot is I had a childhood friend who had a nice big backyard, and they had mint. Just like wild mint growing along like the
Hmm.
edges of the backyard. And we would always play in his backyard, doing all of the make believe adventure games that you could do. But our favorite one was to take all of his stuffed animals
Hmm.
outside and we'd hide them in his big, like wild yard, like they were real animals.
Hmm.
And then we would charge people to come and see our zoo. By charge, I mean like the kids would give us like an apple or something.
Right, right. That is
But now,
so sweet.
but every time I smell mint, like
Mm-hmm.
warmed by the sun, and you're kind of crushing it because you're moving through it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just think of his yard and being little and it feeling like this massive place where we could play, where, in reality, it was a normal yard. But because it felt like, we were off in the wilds, and, because we're in the bushes and everything, it was just, I think about that memory every time I smell like mint like that. And I cherish it very much.
Wow. And two things I want to say about that. One, I just think it's so fascinating about the sensory components
Hmm.
of nature because it covers them all. And I think they can be positive and they can also be negative. Like there's certain
Hmm.
smells that can really bring you back to maybe a time that was hard. And for you, that smell of mint brings you back to a happy time. And it's just so powerful that I think sometimes we don't even consciously know what's happening to us.
No, like I feel like if I had a duller memory, right, I wouldn't put it together. I would probably just smell mint, and then first I would be unaware of why I started thinking of my childhood friend, you
Right,
know?
right. Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to say is I think it's also really, I think about this a lot, that things that I had that I saw in nature, they were just like this weird thing that was in a yard, but like you
Hmm.
probably weren't cooking with mint, or you probably weren't like,
Yeah.
oh, let's pick this mint and make lemonade with it. But
Hmm.
to think about you having that mint patch today, like
Hmm.
you would probably do so many things with it.
Yeah, and it's right, but it's like that stepping stone of me smelling that and then like eventually piecing it together with the, yeah, like the leaves that are in food and things and being like, oh, and just seeing how it all went together. His mom was really lovely. Like, she would take us to the library to look up different plants and stuff
Oh,
in
wow.
the books. Yeah. And so, every time I think of like wild plants, I always think of them.
When's the last time you talked to this mint plant family?
um 3 days ago.
Oh, really? Oh, so you're still in touch with them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really special. And where was this? Where did you live?
So I grew up in the Bay Area, but this family lived in Boise, Idaho, because my parents used to live in Montana with them, and so every
Uh-huh.
summer we would go up to their place in Boise, Idaho, and then I would just like run around like a little gremlin
Wow.
with their children, unsupervised in this beautiful place that we didn't have anything like that in the Bay Area because I lived in a much more urban environment.
Uh-huh. And so you kept in touch with this family. And did you keep in
Hmm.
touch with the kid or the
Uh-huh.
parents? Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yeah, no, we're still besties.
That is so special.
Yeah, he just got married.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really I don't I have some childhood friends ish that
Hmm.
I keep in touch with, but I think it's that parental connection sometimes that helps keep those relationships strong, I think, where it's
Yeah.
like it sounds like your family saw them all the time. And yeah, I don't know. I often think of people that I was friends with when I was young, and I'm like, do I find them on LinkedIn? And like,
Hmm.
what would I say? But like, I just feel
Yeah.
like so many of those times informed so much of later parts of our life.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So many of my childhood friends, shaped like who I became as an adult, whether they helped me be brave, helped me find my voice, encouraged me to explore or just be super, super goofy. Like my childhood friends gave me the confidence to be the adult that I wanted to be. I think my relationship with this kid growing up really stayed strong because we're both very bookish.
Mm,
And so
okay.
we became pen pals. And so we would actually send each other like letters.
Wow. I
Yeah,
love
and then
this.
and then as we got older, right, it turned into emails, right? As the technology grew with us, and now we text and all the rest of it. But we sent many letters that I've saved since I was a little kid.
And I what I love about that too is I think that people I hate when people say this, that female male relationships, they're not true. I mean, they're possible, but there's always that maybe weirdness of,
Yeah.
are we actually in love? No, it is possible to just have friends
Well,
that we
and
don't fall in love with.
it's a devaluation of the love that occurs in a friendship, right? It's
Hmm.
putting romantic love as the pinnacle of love.
Hmm.
Right? Instead of being like, no, I can have a love affair with someone that is platonic, that is my
Yeah.
friendship. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think we all have great loves that are friendships. And
Yes.
that's exactly what they should be.
Yes. Wow, that is so special. It's, when the first nature memory question, I think oftentimes it brings up like very positive things for
Hmm.
people, and they're not always able to revisit that time or feeling,
Hmm.
but it's pretty cool that you get to have that still with that person.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. Thank you for sharing. So, something that and I keep on announcing this because this is the first season of the podcast back. And so I'm going to have to explain it again to you. But on every single episode, what I love so much about nature and horticultural therapy is that there's so much evidence and research and studies to support how it can impact us. And so every single episode, I bring to the podcast a study or research or article that I think shows the impact of gardening or nature-based activities. And I try to bring one that the guest will like or connect with or have something to say about. So for you this week, I am bringing this study that was done by Christian Vogel and Megan Grubb, and it's Understanding Food Literacy in Urban Gardens, a case study of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. And so this study is really about how a lot of times in urban environments, food literacy can be very low. And I mean, I think in general, I think with fast food and everything that's happening, food literacy can be very low. And so gardening in this study that they showed is that it should be considered a very holistic, very important part for improving food literacy. And I think we know this, right? It's like, oh, you grow a cucumber and then you know what cucumbers are. But I think it really goes beyond that in what can you do with that cucumber? Oh, there's 20 different kinds of cucumbers. Because I think a lot of times with supermarkets, and if you live in a food desert or you live somewhere where you don't have access, like you only might see one type of something or you never see a food. So I thought this was a really interesting, I think we see a lot of food literacy with children, but I think it's just as important with adults too.
I'll say this. As you know, I cashiered at a grocery store for a long, long time. And one of the biggest hurdles when we would hire new cashiers was teaching them to recognize the fruits and vegetables. Because I worked at a Whole Foods, and so a lot of people, understandably, grew up like you're saying, just like me, eating bagged lettuce and no herbs to speak of and all the rest. And so getting them to identify even the difference between cilantro and parsley and different kinds of mushrooms and all the different apples, like that was an education in and of itself.
Right. Yeah. I've said this before on the podcast. I mean, I definitely had very low food literacy growing up. I thought potatoes and corn were like the only vegetables that existed, maybe tomatoes. So, and we didn't have salads. My mom did not cook with herbs, dried or otherwise. I don't know. I think it's really exciting because, I mean, obviously we're both passionate about connecting people with food and how food can make us feel. And I think truly connect us. Like I feel more connected to you because you wrote a recipe for a mac and cheese that my family makes every week. So I'll include this study in the show notes, and I just encourage everyone to maybe see what's going on in their community in terms of helping people with food literacy, or maybe you need it for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, and to your point about gardening too, and what it teaches you passively is what seasons to eat things.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've had a seasonality conversation on the pod with Laura Wright, and I love Laura. Did you say like you like her? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was like, we have beef.
Okay. So, and I definitely am guilty of for sure eating out of season.
Of course.
Or for sure eating things. And I definitely look at people that only eat seasonally. I'm like, good for you. But also I don't know. I think it would be difficult at times, depending on where you live, especially.
For sure. But I think the knowledge of like, this is when I should be eating strawberries because they're going to be the most delicious and the least expensive. Like that, of course, I eat bell peppers year round. Like I'm a monster. But to know when, people think produce tastes bad sometimes. They're like, I don't like peaches. And it's like, well, yeah, you're eating peaches in February. I wouldn't like those peaches either.
Totally.
It's just the chance, I think, to know when things grow seasonally, to have them at their best, and then you can judge them accordingly.
Yeah, and I think when I was wrote recipes for my books.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you don't want to be elitist asshole. Do not make this recipe with a tomato in December, because like
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be as tasty. But I also want you to try this. It's like, I don't want you to
Yeah.
wait until the summer to try this, but also I know it's going to taste way better if you wait until summer.
Yeah, that's always my thing with organic produce too. Like any produce is better than no produce, right?
Right. Yeah.
For you to eat. And if you're eating off season, that's better than not eating any vegetables either. And it's just more information for you to make better choices, but none of those choices should stop you from eating vegetables and fruits.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you have to eat frozen, like that's what we're doing then.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Controversial take. I'm just
Hmm.
curious, and I wasn't even going to ask you this, but since we're talking about food, what do you think about seed oils? I may cut this. I'm just
Yes.
curious.
I just don't. I think with all the environmental toxins that we are all exposed to all the time and all the petrochemicals and all of the plastics that are in all of our stuff, we can have this conversation when we clean up the rest of everything. You know,
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it is it is absolutely ridiculous. It's like my friends, again working at the grocery store, who'd be like, "Oh yeah, I only eat organic, like I'm vegan, blah 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 blah," and then they would smoke American spirits, and I'm like,
Right.
"Get it together."
Yeah. I like that take. Like, let's figure everything else out, and then we can talk about seed oils. I like that
Yeah,
take. Okay.
because it's too it's not important enough. They're moving it to the front of this conversation, and that's not where the shit belongs.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Love that take. So we covered your outside, and
Hmm.
now we're moving inside. What is your current inside obsession?
One of them days,
Okay.
a movie with Kiki Palmer and SZA.
Okay.
Um, there haven't been any really good girl buddy comedies in a minute,
Or
and
like, what's the last one,
I
do you
mean, you
think?
could kind of say Bridesmaids, I think.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But that
Yeah,
was so long ago.
exactly. Yeah, it was more than 10 years ago. And I saw it in theaters. It's produced by Issa Rae,
Hmm.
and it's filmed in the neighborhood that I used to live in LA. I just moved up to Seattle, and it is just so much fun. The chemistry between the two girls is top shelf. Like
Hmm.
it is exactly what you want to see in female friendship, where they fight, they give each other a super hard time, but it's nothing but love, and it's so hilarious. And they're just trying to go through, like there's a bunch of trials for them to try to make rent for the day. It all
Hmm.
takes place in one day. And I just, with everything feels so hard right now. And
Yes.
I am a news obsessive, which is not good for me right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think movies like that, kind of focusing on the very realistic problems of life that we can all relate to, like trying to make rent,
Hmm.
um, but while being goofy and silly and fun, it felt like a tonic to me.
Oh, yeah. I just thought of another one. I feel like Girls Trip was a good,
Yes,
that became
yeah,
after Bridesmaids, and
yeah.
that was another good one. Okay. I, I have a couple pop culture blind spots.
Hmm.
Stranger Things, Pitch Perfect, and Kiki Palmer. Those are like, did you watch Claim to Fame?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's one of
Fantastic.
my friends always make fun of me. It's one of my most favorite shows ever. Have you ever heard of Claim to Fame?
No, I don't think so. I'm
Okay.
going to Google it right now.
So it's hosted by two Jonas brothers. The one that's not famous, and
Okay.
then one of the famous ones. And I don't know the Jonas brothers, which one is which, but it's a house full of people, and
Oh,
all of
I
them
see.
have a famous celebrity relative.
Oh, how funny.
And the house there's clues everywhere, and everyone has to figure out who the famous celebrity is that they're related to.
Oh, okay.
And as a viewer, you don't really know who it is.
Hmm.
And I won't tell you which season, but there is a Kiki Palmer involved relative in one of the seasons. And when I was watching, I'm like, they kept on giving clues as to
Oh, and you
who,
didn't know.
and I was just like, I don't think I've ever seen anything Keke Palmer. And I
Oh,
don't know why she's my blind spot.
I mean, if this was a just world, she would be America's sweetheart. She is phenomenally talented, obviously, like singing, just everything about her, like her interviews and all of her just, she's so naturally funny, such a natural entertainer. I am just such a big fan of hers.
Okay, well, I need to, and I mean, listen, I've seen her in
Oh yeah, she's gonna.
she's everywhere, but I've never really, because like for a while she was hosting Good Morning America,
Yeah.
maybe.
Hmm.
Do you have any pop culture blind spots?
Oh, 1,000 of them.
Okay. Because I feel like I'm like pretty tapped in, but like I said, those three are three that I just like whenever anybody brings up Pitch Perfect, I'm like, I know it's like singing
Yeah.
and Rebel Wilson is in it maybe, but I don't know anything else about that.
So
So yeah.
my cultural blind spot is reality TV. Okay, I watched the first season of American Idol. Okay,
Okay.
and I watched the first season of Survivor, and I
And that's
can't.
it?
Yeah.
And no Bravo.
No, no, fuck, no, I don't fuck with Bravo. Uh,
Okay, well,
I know
I
everyone else
I think
loves
I've
it.
watched every reality show season ever made of every show. I mean, I
I
watched
know.
Claim to Fame, okay? Which I will say that show is really good.
No,
Like one
that's and I don't, it's not that I think it can come off like I'm trying to be snobby that I don't
Mhm.
watch reality TV. And it's more like I know myself. It's like I can't buy like a family size pack of tortilla chips either
Mhm.
because I'm
Yes.
gonna fucking house it.
Yes. That's why I've never downloaded TikTok is because I would just be addicted. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why I can't watch any reality TV because it would be all that I watch. I would fucking binge it out of my mind. And
Yeah.
I need to have a life. I need to have a job.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was so glad that you included that as your inside thing because this is also a weird thing about me. I love watching trailers to things.
I did
Um and I'm not kidding you. I was devastated the day that Apple trailers went away.
it. Hmm.
Because that
Hmm.
is what I would do. Like some people pick up their phone to go on Instagram. I'd be like, "Ooh, are there any new trailers?" And I would go to like Apple Trailers, and then it went away. And I was googling like where did it go? Like what's happening? And now I go to comingsoon.net, which is like
Yeah.
not that cool. But I remember seeing the trailer for that film and thinking,
Hmm.
"Oh my gosh, this is my kind of movie," even though I'm not a Keke Palmer.
Hmm.
And then I just completely forgot about it. And then when it was in your list, I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And now I'm sure it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Or Hulu. Okay,
It's streaming on Netflix now.
great. Well, I'm going to watch that tonight. I'm so excited because it's my perfect kind of movie. I just want,
Yeah.
like you said, like low stakes. It's not depressing. It's just
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah, it's just fun, and there's hijinks, there's stakes, but like none of it, you're never scared.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited. And I love SZA too. So this is
Oh,
perfect. Is that
she's
her first acting role?
it's her first major role like
Major
that,
role.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's so good and so funny, and she plays that perfect nexus of like hippie girl in LA. She just does a great job. She just does, yeah, she kills it. I mean, they're all so great. Like I told you, I watched it in theaters and then I've watched it since it's been on streaming, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be one of those movies that I just
Hmm.
watch.
Okay, I'm definitely watching that tonight. Great, thank you. I told myself I'm going to keep this podcast to 30 minutes, which is impossible for me. Uh Tell me about if you're open to it. Why'd you move from LA? Because you've been in LA for a really long time.
Yeah, it's 16 years I've been in LA, and I'm from California, and I mean I love California, but I had kind of been LA had been losing its luster for me pre-pandemic.
Uh-huh.
I'm just getting older, and I want to have a better work-life balance. Like I actually want to, have a life. After the pandemic, I was like, no, I can feel the 11 million people around me in LA
Mm, mm-hmm.
all the time,
Mm,
and it just, I was like, I need more nature and I
mm-hmm.
need less people and I need a place maybe where I could afford to possibly one day, as an old woman, buy a house. And I had loved the Pacific Northwest since I was a kid. I had wanted to come up to go to college in Seattle, and I got into UW, and for money reasons, I could not attend. And my wife had always wanted to move to Seattle, and we got this opportunity through a new job of hers, and we moved up here. And already, I mean, Seattle Metro only has 4 million people, and that's counting Tacoma and Bellevue. Otherwise, like the
Mm-hmm.
city of Seattle has 775,000 people. Like the difference
Mm-hmm.
for me of just not having that many people
Mm-hmm.
around, it changes my internal chemistry.
Mm-hmm. And going back to you saying wanting more of a work-life balance,
Mhm.
what is Seattle giving you that LA was not?
Everything in LA, because of the number of people and the competition. I mean, first of all, it's a fantastic food city and I can
Mm-hmm.
get every ingredient in the world, but sometimes it would take me 40 minutes to get to the freeway,
Got it. Got it. Got it. Yep.
you know? And that maybe was okay when I was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't want to fight for the ability to go get groceries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And just being able to get out, like LA has beautiful nature, but it's going to take me 3 hours
Yeah.
to get there.
Right.
Where the city parks here in Seattle, like we were walking in Lincoln Park the other day, and it goes down to the water, and that they have these giant old growth trees. And I'm on a busy weekend, and I saw like 15 people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
And
so good.
yeah, and the fires in LA were really the last kind of straw, because I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't now, like I can't even enjoy outside, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I coming up here and having so much water around and so much plant life, like you don't realize how much um I'd kind of been going without that diversity.
Well, to me, it's just like everything is succulent.
Yes.
It's like everything, like I think of big like Fatsia or something where it's just
Hmm.
like juicy leaves. And my sister, she listens to the podcast, she's gonna throw up that I just said juicy leaves. But you know what I mean? It just feels lush and
Yes.
just lush,
Right
lush,
now,
lush, lush.
all the berry brambles are blossoming right now, and so it
Mm,
just like everywhere. It's like I keep saying it looks like the thorns that go up around Sleeping Beauty.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, and I mean, everything's it's just the most beautiful time to be here. There's just wisteria growing on telephone poles where it's like
Yes.
it's
Wow.
everything is just, yeah, it is quite the change from LA, where you feel like, obviously, we have lemon trees, loquats, all kinds of citrus just growing in everyone's yards and
Mm-hmm.
everything, but it feels like all of those plants are overcoming the
Mm-hmm.
cities,
Yeah. Yeah.
where here, it just feels so much like it's symbiotic.
Yeah. And do you know what growing zone you are there?
Oh, I haven't looked it up yet.
Okay. Hold on. Let's do this live.
Yes.
I'm really curious to know what, if you don't mind, we can edit out if you don't want people
Oh
to know
no.
your new zip code. Okay. Let's see. And I will include this in the show notes if anyone wants to look up their hardiness zone. And what that is it will really allow you to know what you can grow when. For instance,
Yes.
I'm zone 9A, and all of my berry flowering, like it happened about a month ago. My wisteria happened a month ago. So it's really interesting to see how those zones move. And
Hmm.
getting a pack of seeds online or getting up a pack of seeds at the store, it'll tell you like best for zones this and this, or it's a perennial in zones this. And I tell people all the time, knowing your growing zone is a game changer if you want to start growing things. Okay, so what's your zip code?
Oh, it's zone
Oh,
9A,
oh,
which
I'm
you're in
so 9A too. But like it's
Ooh.
so different
Hmm.
9 because
Yeah, I'm 98116 is
okay,
my,
great. So you're
yeah.
9A and I'm 9A, but I'm a humid 9A
Hmm.
and you don't have that same humidity that I do.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
we're the
not.
same growing zone. Love it when someone's the same because I can send them seeds. Um,
Yes.
okay, sweet. Okay, so you're 9A. That's wonderful. Are you planning on, do you have any space to grow at your new place?
Yes, so that is the next stage. My wife is always like, more plants. I'm like, yes, more plants. Um,
Okay. And do you grow cut flowers? Do you grow veggies? Like, what do you grow?
I like to grow veggies and lots of herbs because that's what
Okay.
I cook with all the time. So I grow veggies and herbs, and then I'll do some flowers, but I'm always just trying to lure birds.
Hmm. Okay.
Like I've already
I'm
planted the
gonna
seeds with all the
listen.
ravens.
I'm gonna convince you for your new garden.
Hmm.
I want you, I'm gonna get you growing some cut flowers. I'm telling
Ooh.
you, cut flowers are a game changer for your life. It's just, I used to grow veggies and I liked
Hmm.
gardening, but learning to grow cut flowers from seed, I know that sounds so bougie, but like it
No.
has changed my life. And I just, I mean, I teach people how to do that now. I want
Hmm.
everyone, if you have even a pot, to grow cut flowers. And I really focus on cut and come again flowers.
Ooh.
So we're not talking about like one huge
Yes.
sunflower and then you chop it and it's gone. Like cut and come again, you literally cut and they keep on coming. And
Ooh, I
it's
would love a
just,
list of some of your favorites.
oh my gosh, I will give you the list. I will email it to you as we're on I just like, it is, and there's a lot of science behind it too. Like
Hmm.
our brains love the geometry. They love the
Hmm.
colors. And if you want, the birds and the bees and everything to come, like there are a lot of cut flowers that they love, especially a lot of the milkweeds, like they're monarch attractors.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I'll send you that list of cut flowers, especially since we're the same zone.
I lived
I'm
in downtown
obsessed.
LA for a minute on the
Hmm.
17th floor of a high rise, and I had two planter boxes where I grew milkweed, and I got a monarch. I had, all the caterpillars, and I
Hmm.
got one, no, two to from the chrysalis to go out.
When you see a chrysalis in person, what in the actual, it's like, it has this gold tiny line. It's like, how is this possible that
No,
this
it's
was
jewelry.
made? It's insane.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But I love that you're doing this. And I love the idea of cut flowers because in this culture of immediacy that we're all in, gardening and being outside teaches us patience. It
Yes.
teaches us like that waiting is and getting the reward makes the reward sweeter.
Yes, for sure. And I, I probably said this before. Monotony is my hell on earth.
Hmm.
I really struggle with feelings of monotony. And I think sometimes as a parent,
Hmm.
there's some monotony. And even just, I think, like, I remember this one time when my husband and I first started dating, and we went to his parents' house for Thanksgiving like 3 years in a row. And I was like, we're going to do that again? And he was like, and I was like, that's so monotonous. And he was like, yeah, well, it's tradition. And I was like, yeah, I guess you could see. I mean, it is tradition, but in my mind, I'm like, we're going to go see the same people every year, eat the same food. What? And
Yeah.
so, what I love about the garden is that it is just, I say, it's a monotony free zone.
Hmm.
Something is different every single day. And it has really, really helped me break out of feeling a monotonous life sometimes. And I really need that for my mental health.
Yeah, you're so right about just your mental health and being outside. I read this book a couple years ago. It's called a moth snowstorm.
Wait,
Yeah,
say the name again.
The Moth Snowstorm, Nature
Okay.
and Joy by
Uh-huh.
Michael McCarthy.
Uh-huh.
And it's just basically talking about, you know, climate change and how our separating ourselves from nature has been a disservice to nature and to us.
Uh-huh.
And in it, he talks about how we're only 500 generations removed from being wildlife.
Wow. It's wild.
You know, and just talks about how you can still see it, our wild origins in so much of our behavior, but because we've, you know, wrapped it up in civilization and all the rest of it, we pretend that we're not animals. and
Wow.
and that's why of course we feel so much better when we're outside and tuned into the seasons and doing all these things like we were a wildlife.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is like a whole new perspective on it. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to get this book. I'll
I,
include it in the show notes too if anyone wants to get it too.
you,
It is. We're wild.
mm-hmm.
Lions don't like monotony either.
Yeah, that's why they pace in their cages. Like the more we recognize that we're part of nature, that we're not trying to rule over it, the better we are and the better the planet will be, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, let's leave with that. That was beautiful. If people want to find you, where do they go?
I am very active on Substack. I run a
Mm-hmm.
weekly newsletter called Stir the Pot, where on Saturdays, you know, I give my thoughts on food and all the things that go into getting food on your table. So I talk about, you know, grocery stores, I talk about cultural stuff around food. And then on Sundays, I give 2 new recipes a month. If you become a paid subscriber, we have a great group chat where everybody sends all their recipes they're cooking, all their food. We chit chat. We actually have a garden sub chat. Like,
Nice.
yeah, we have a good time. And then I'm on Instagram at mdavisfoods. And you know, I'm just on the internet.
You are. And you know, last night I was telling Dan, my husband, that I was interviewing you, and I just told him that this first season of this new podcast, I just really want to have people that I feel really aligned with in terms of what's happening in our world right now.
Mhm.
Because I feel like the conversations are easier and there's no like, does she believe in the same stuff I do? Like, you know what I mean? There's no questions of
Yeah.
what you stand for. And I really appreciate your voice right now because sometimes it can feel kind of lonely.
I thank you for saying that. And I feel the exact same way about you. Yeah, it's you want people who are strong in their convictions, but are always learning and always trying to be a better version of themselves so that their convictions get more informed with them. I'm not, you know, I'm never going to be stuck in the mud. And if there's better information, baby, I'm listening.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so lovely to chat with you on and offline. And
Yes,
thank you so much for having me.
of course. Thanks for listening. That's the show. You know, we have lots of reviews on Apple Podcasts, but none on Spotify. So do me a favor, and if you like the show, give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. It will help more people find the podcast. And if you want to leave an extra Apple Podcast review, I'm cool with that too. And to find links for everything we talked about, check out the show notes or head to baskergardens.com and click on the podcast link. And if you want to learn more about horticultural therapy or how we can work together, go to baskergardens.com/pod and message me. Again, everything in the show notes. Talk to you next week.